come to the bold analysis. There is some seeds of discord that is being planted in Luo Nyanza. And this, according to me, is the next frontier of those development masqueraders that have been sent to change the tide. And I don't think it is wrong. They are really right, because it's political mission to change the tide. You know, the last year's general election, there are a lot of political experiments that were tried. And one that was tried is the one of using young, ambitious leaders to upstage the dominant politicians. I know some of you call them the kingpins, but the dominant veteran politicians. It was tried in central Kenya, and partly it was successful. I know Kambani, it was tried, but Kalonzo Musyoka was a bit locked. In Western Kenya, it was tried and successfully. Cleophas Malala, who had been dispatched to Woodwink to roam around Musalia Mudavadi, was used successfully to convince Musalia Mudavadi to work with William Ruto. That I've always said, and I'm not tired to repeat, that is the kind of script that President Ruto is planting in Luo Nyanza. Today, you know, there have been some recent occurrences. Some goons disrupted an ODM officials meeting in Game constituency. Game is the home to Elisha Odhiambo. Elisha is amongst the rebel members of parliament that met, amongst the 9 members of parliament from Luo Nyanza that met President Ruto. And they swore their allegiance to the current administration against a party position. But of course, that was yet later to be explained as I am going for development, which probably there is no problem, and the society is waiting for that development. Just in the same county of Siaya, the deputy governor, Oduor, William Oduor, a man I really supported in 2013 when I was still in college, is at loggerheads with the governor. They're not seeing eye to eye, and whenever they meet, there is always a confrontation. Recently, we saw a very ugly confrontation when they met in some event. And what has been seen here is, I don't think Oduor is the first deputy governor to fall out with his boss. The fallout is all over, it happens. Even Nyangapur fell out with his deputy. His deputy spent better time of their term, I think, in US. So the fallout is there. I can tell you, even Wangaya, Gladys Wanga, and Oyugima Wanga ticket was a ticket that was just for convenience. There is a bit of that fallout. But Siaya, the one for Siaya has become a little bit technical, and Ido Dinga tried. You know, Ido Dinga was in the Siaya offices, probably tried to meet the two factions, and it has not been successful. With now political pundits seeing that what is happening in Siaya could be having the hand of the Nairobi, the big boys in Nairobi. It is yet to be seen, of course, the case is there. This is coming at a time when UDA is running many activities in the Nyanza belt. They're running their staff there. And those who are given some positions in government have been dispatched in the ground to try to do grassroots mobilization and dismantle Raila Odinga's clout in that place. There is totally nothing wrong with that. We are in a democracy. Even though I believe that it should not, the resources should not just be clumped into one county, into one region. That is Nyanza. It should have been scattered. I think it would have been better. And recently, Miguna was chased in Oyugis. And that is a wake-up call. Miguna was chased in Oyugis when he tried to speak, trying to make some statements about Raila. When he was in some burial, by the way, I'm told that he was in an event where he was not just invited, the person was actually his relative. So he was kama mtu amefukuzwa kwao, and that was also an attempt to try to maybe say probably attacking Raila Odinga, and things didn't go on well. I want to acknowledge that the ODM party have had perennial problems, and not problems, perennial problem of shareholders shielding, trying to not to obey the principles of democracy internally within the party, and that has created some cumulative anger, and it's true that to some extent it has always been eating into Raila Odinga's vote basket there, because of those who feel it has been denied, has been given to so. He's been denied the ticket and has been given to me. She was denied and was given to him. That discussion is there. They always say, "Oh my, oh me, oh my, oh me." That's what I'm trying to say. So, but despite of that, there is always how it requires, and it goes back to him. It has not been easy. So I think those who are trying to stage it, Nyanza is a bit different, and you can ask the likes of Jalan'go. I saw the business when he's trying to market, and if you look at the comment section, those who are supposed to be supporters, or maybe are coming from the region, are really speaking ill about it, and are non-committal, saying that maybe they don't have any business with it. I think it's, when it comes to Nyanza, politics is something different. Now, this is why the Nyanza concept cannot succeed. It cannot succeed with William Ruto. That experiment cannot succeed because of these 4 reasons. When you go to Nyanza as if you are targeting Raila Odinga, that scheme first shows you are not coming in clean hands. The liberation push, for those who are pushing it, you even rather go through, talk about more about ODM and more about development, and you must find a way. You don't look as if you are going to hit Raila, because that then makes it so personal. And you will realize that, and if you want to know, I know there are some members of this channel who vied in the last general election, were aspirants. You'll bear with me that the moment someone will go and tell the shows down there, Kwamba, you've been sent by so and so, you've been sent by William Ruto to make sure that Raila is dead politically, the old woman will not vote for you. I can tell you. When you are perceived as if you're going after Raila, now that's where they draw the line. So that's the difference probably with Raila. It will take some time for that to end. And that is why those who are doing it as if I'm going to hit Raila, in fact, it will backlash on you. If you want to move, I normally say, there are those who have always moved out of Raila's circle, they've made it. Babuna Mwamba, Aisha Jumwa, these are people that are even William Ruto. But just go out and not within the space. Devolution have collapsed. It has really collapsed. And there's little on ground that people are feeling. Devolution has collapsed, and the national government is a bit discriminatory, for lack of a better word, in terms of the sharing of the national cake. If you look at the budget, there is little that is being felt on ground. So already the region, the voters feel disadvantaged. That's it. Because of that, it's very difficult to push it through people's throat. They may not hate Raila. You may want to make them hate Raila, which that one can happen, but there is no alternative that looks better. I wish those who are saying development, the Jalan'gos, that group, they will go down there and show people that development. Take those from State House, go and take those roads, take those dams, take medicine in those hospitals, make things happen so that you'll actually be praised and you'll actually show people that development. But without it, the county government, which is supposed to be a reprieve to the people, is not getting funds. Even employment there is becoming a problem because people are not getting salary. So that is already a disadvantage on William Ruto's side. I want to say this. Kenyans are sleeping hungry. Kenyans are going without food. But every morning and every day, you spend your time in the Nyanza belt. The UDA activities and campaigns going there are a bit premature and are just perceived as persuasion. I know that Kenya is always in active political mode. Recently, I was just talking to someone from home, and they asked me the day that you were doing some activities in Siaya, and she asked me, sasa mbona sasa wao wanaendelea na siasa, mbona wasitulete food? People were asking questions that is data priority. So this is the point. The reason why the Nyanza project is going to collapse and fail and is failing is because the political persuasion activity is not a priority. That is the truth. If anything, this is a region that voted for Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga did not become president. Quite a number are not even interested in voting. But let me tell you, we have an uphill task in the next general election to convince people that voting is your right and you must come out, and I think IBC will have to give us good money so that we can be part of that sensitization, to sensitize the people about the essence of voting. So this is a region that already quite a majority are disgruntled and they do not recognize what we are doing, but that's why we go and spend all that time. It's a waste. May not succeed, but of course, I know political strategists will tell me, Kevin, they don't need a big number. They just need 5% maybe. It's not it. Shareholding appointments is something that is very loud. We may not want to speak loudly about it, but people know and people are saying. It's very loud. Even when people listen to radio and when you listen to these vernacular radio stations, they speak about it. They will tell the people about in the last 1 year, in the last 1 month, so and so has been appointed in this position. It was a Luo or a Luya who was there. And already the perception, people get that perception that Ruto is not appointing our people. I'm telling you, it's a big mess. So as we try to plant the seeds of discord, so probably you will start now branding the party as violent and use the usual script that is normally used in every election, as trying to brand the party as violent. But we need to think beyond, because I don't think the Nyanza strategy is going to work. It's a matter of time for the Jalangos to change tact and head back there.